Fourth lecture of strength of material, in which we have seen up to today's lecture moment of inertia of different shapes, parallel principle, principle of parallel axis, principle of perpendicular axis, and too many things. Now today we will solve some numericals on this moment of inertia, considering that you have prepared for this formulas. Okay, without the formula you can't solve this example. Let's see the problems. Okay, let's see first problem of moment of inertia. A steel pipe has external diameter of 22 millimeter and thickness of metal is 3 millimeter. Calculate the moment of inertia about one of its centroidal axis. Okay, you can see over here the problem. A steel pipe has external diameter 22 millimeter and thickness of metal is 3 millimeter. Calculate the moment of inertia about one of its centroidal axis. Okay, centroidal axis means what? The axis which is passing through the center of that geometrical figure. Okay, let's start then. You can see the figure over here. Here is the centroidal axis. Okay, these are two centroidal axes. We have seen that in case of this circular shape, the moment of inertia Ixx is always equals to moment of inertia Iyy. Okay, that means if you calculate the moment of inertia about x axis, it will be same as that of y axis. Okay, let's see then what are the things given. We have given that the external diameter. Okay, external diameter is this one. External diameter, this is given capital D. Then we have the formula for, okay, we have to see what are the necessary thing for the formula. We have that formula I is equals to pi by 64 into capital D raised to 4, that means it is capital D raised to 4, that means it is outer diameter, and minus small d raised to 4, that means it is inner diameter. Okay, now we have to, or we need to have all these data. Okay, we have the capital D, that is capital D is what? Outer diameter, which is given 22. Okay, we have also given of metal 3 millimeter. Okay, this by mistake they have given over 33, it is just 3 millimeter. Then what will be the inner diameter? It will be equal to D minus, or outer diameter minus 2 times the thickness, which will be equal to, therefore smaller diameter is what? 16 millimeter. Outer diameter is 22 and inner diameter is 16 millimeter. Therefore what we have formula that we have already written over here, I am writing again it. I is equals to pi by 64 into capital D raised to 4, that means outer diameter square, that is 22 square, minus inner diameter, that is we have calculated it 16 bracket square. Okay, this is the formula. We have all the data. We have the value of pi is 22 by 7 or 3.14. Any one of the value can be, you can take. Now capital D, that is also we have 22, and small d, this also there, which is equals to 16 millimeter. Now we just have to put this. Okay, we just have to, okay, here is also they have given here the moment of inertia of this circular area about both the axis xx and yy is same, and that is equals to Ixx equals to Iyy is equals to what? Pi by 64 d raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. Okay, by putting the values you will get the moment of inertia is equals to 8.282 into 10 raised to 3 meter raised to 4. 8.282 into 10 raised to 3 millimeter raised to 4, because all the dimension are given in millimeter, the unit will be in millimeter raised to 4. Okay, now next figure, we have to calculate the moment of inertia of a triangle. ABC has base of 75 millimeter and vertical side AB of 90 millimeter. Okay, that means its height is given 90 millimeter and base is given 70 millimeter. Okay, now again the angle B is given 90 degree. Then they have said or asked to calculate the moment of inertia about the side AB and side BC. Okay, for this we must know the formula for moment of inertia of the triangle about its any side, and which is equals to I is equals to BH cube by 12. I is equals to about any side is equals to BH cube upon 12. B stands for base, H stands for height. Okay, now let's see further. Okay, triangle ABC is given, base given 75. Okay, and then height is also given, it is equals to 90 degree. Angle B is given 90 degree. Okay, now we have to calculate the moment of inertia about AB also, about AB and about BC. Okay, both these things are to be calculated about AB and axis passing through apex A. Okay, now let's start with that. Okay, further, okay, let's see what we have now more. Moment of inertia about BC is equals to BH cube upon 12. About BC, for BC height is 90 millimeter. If base is BC, height is 90 millimeter. Therefore, putting the values in the formula, B is 75 into H cube. H is 90 degree, 90 millimeter. Its cube divided by 12, and the value is equals to 4.556 into 10 raised to 6 millimeter raised to 4. Now moment of inertia about side AB, this is equals to in this case now AB becomes base and BC becomes height. For previous this section, this part of problem, this 75 was base and 90 was height. Now for this problem we have base is 90 and height is 75. Just the things are exchanged. So calculating this we get 3. You have this value 3.164 into 10 raised to 4 millimeter raised to 4. Okay, this is the this is the moment of inertia. In this way we can calculate the moment of inertia of the body. Okay, next let's take another problem. For an equilateral triangle of side 400 millimeter shows that MI about the horizontal and vertical axis, vertical central axis are equal. We have to show that the moment of inertia for this equilateral triangle is equal for the x axis and for the y axis, which are passing through the centroid. Okay, got the problem? For an equilateral triangle of side 400, that means this is ABCD. ABC is a equilateral triangle having side 400 millimeter, and we have to show that the moment of inertia of the two perpendicular axes which are passing through the centroid, okay, are same. Okay, therefore let's start with this. They have given us, let the given equilateral triangle ABC having all side 400, which is given, that is B is equals to 400 they have given. Now for calculating the moment of inertia of area, triangle, we have formula I is equals to what? BH cube by 12. Okay, BH cube by for this triangle, for equilateral and isosceles triangle we have seen those formulas. Okay, remember that. Okay, now let's see. Find the moment of inertia. We have to show that about horizontal and vertical axis, we have to show that Ixx is equals to Iyy. Okay, this is x axis and this is y axis. We have to show that this moment both the moment of inertia are same. Now first we have to find, because in the formula we have BH cube. Okay, we must have base and height. For as all the side are 400, we know the base. Now we have to calculate the height first. Okay, now for calculating height, here either you can use Pythagoras theorem. This is 400, this is 200, and you can calculate, as here is 90 degree, you can calculate by by Pythagoras theorem, or by using this angles. Okay, that means trigonometric ratio, by using trigonometry. Now what is sin theta? We have sin theta, if theta is equal to here 60 degree, okay, here theta is 60 degree, which is given, then sin theta is equals to opposite side upon hypotenuse, opposite side upon hypotenuse. Now opposite to theta is h, okay, upon hypotenuse was this 400. Therefore sine of 60, they have given over here, sine of 60 is equals to h upon 400. By using trigonometric identity, you can also find this height h, or by using Pythagoras theorem you can calculate this height. Okay, now after calculating height, we have that value is equals to what? 346.410. this height we have got. Okay, you can use by that calculator. Now what is moment of inertia about xx is equals to bh cube by 12. So put this value, we will get bh cube. B is 400. Okay, total we have to calculate the moment of inertia about this axis, ex axis, which is equals to bh cube by 36. This is base, height is just we have calculated, this is 346.410. Now put this value in this formula, we get 461.88 into 10 raised to 6 millimeters to 4. This is the moment of inertia of the equilateral triangle about x axis. Now let's go for calculating the moment of inertia for the axis, for the y axis. Okay, now the formula changed slightly, that is Iyy is equals to hb cube upon 48. Okay, for previous example it was 36, now it is equals to hb cube upon 48. Now so putting the values, h just we have calculated, we know the base 400, putting this value upon 48, we get again 461 into 0.88 into 10 raised to 64 millimeter raised to 4. From these two equation, okay, from these two equation, this one is equation 1 and equation 2, both the values are equal, therefore we can say that the moment of inertia about x axis and about y axis are equal, which was asked to prove. Okay, and hence it is proved, and which is equals to 461.88 into 10 raised to 4. Okay, now this was about that problem. Now let's see the next problem, okay, in which we have to calculate the radius of gyration. Okay, let's I have not given the problem over here, I am reading that, please pay attention. Calculate the radius of gyration about the centroidal horizontal axis for a rectangle of dimension 40 mm by 80 mm. Okay, height and base and height is given. Okay, that is depth and base is width and depth is given. Here is width, that is b, and here is depth, which is equals to d. We have to calculate the radius of gyration for this x axis. For that, first we have to calculate the moment of inertia of this body about this x axis, and we have that formula bd cube by 12. So putting all this value, we have the formula. This formula is what? Ix equals to bd cube upon 12, which comes equals to what? 1.706 into 10 raised to 6 millimeter raised to 4. Now we have formula for radius of gyration, that is kxx is equals to root of ixx upon t. Therefore we have to calculate first area. Area for rectangle is what? Base into or width into depth. So we have given that formula over here. Okay, we have that formula here. You can see that 40 into 80 is equals to what? 3200 millimeter square is the area for that rectangle. Now further putting just we just have to put this value, the calculated value. The moment of inertia is equals to 1.706 into 10 to 6 and upon this area. Okay, by putting this value we will get this 23 point. You can see over here 23.089. okay, this is the value for radius of gyration for this figure. Now okay, you got this. First, for calculating radius of gyration, we have formula kx, that is radius of gyration, is equals to root of ixx upon a. Therefore we have calculated the moment of inertia about that axis. Keep in mind one thing carefully, that the moment of inertia for this as the moment of inertia for this axis is different, it has its own radius of gyration, and again moment of inertia for y-axis is also different, therefore it has its different radius of gyration. As the axis of rotation changes, the radius of gyration will also change. Now if they ask to calculate the moment of inertia or radius of gyration about y-axis, then we have to calculate the moment of inertia about y-axis and then divide it by the area, and taking its root we will get the radius of gyration about y-axis. Therefore always look at the problem clearly, what they have asked to calculate. Sometimes they may say that calculate the moment of inertia about x-axis and find the radius of gyration about y-axis. Then don't get confused. In that case, if you have to calculate the radius of gyration about y-axis, then you will have to calculate the moment of inertia about y-axis, and then you can go further. Okay, now next problem. Now this is problem of polar moment of inertia. Okay, we have already seen that what is polar moment of inertia. It is equals to what? If we know the moment of inertia about two perpendicular axes, then we can calculate the polar moment of inertia by adding the moment of inertia of those two perpendicular axes which are in the plane of figure, and which is equals to moment of inertia of the surface about the axis which is perpendicular to the plane of figure. Then in this way, or that same moment of inertia is moment of inertia about, or polar moment of inertia. That means Iz is equals to Ip, Izz is equals to Ip. Okay, and what is Iz? We have seen the theorem of perpendicular axis, that is Iz is equals to Ix plus Iy, and they have given us noun to this, that is polar moment of inertia. Let's see then. Again, in the very first problem in this session, we have calculated the moment of inertia of such rings. Okay, in the same way we have to calculate the moment of inertia of this ring. At that time I have also told you that for such figure the moment of inertia for the both axis is same. Okay, for both axis is same, Ix equals to Iy. Okay, and now let's see. Here I have given the polar moment of inertia. Diameters are given. We have to find polar moment of inertia and radius of gyration. Okay, let's see then. Okay, they have given over here moment of inertia about Ixx is equals to moment of inertia about y-axis Yy is equals to pi by 64 into d raised to 4 minus d raised to 4. We have to put the values. It is equals to this moment of you have to make the calculation, all the calculation, don't just depend on these figures. So calculate by your own self. I is equals to, the value given is equals to 32.197 into 10 raised to 10 raised to 6. Okay, this is the value. Now 10 raised to 6, this is the value for moment of inertia about of this ring, about x axis and about y axis. Now let's see how to calculate the polar moment of inertia and radius of gyration. Now this is polar moment of inertia. If we add this, okay, we know that the moment of inertia for both the axis is same, therefore calculate same value two times. Ix is also same and Iy is also same. If you multiply it by 2 or add it double, then you will get the moment of inertia or polar moment of inertia, that is 64.39 into 10 raised to 6 millimeter raised to 4. Okay, now we have to calculate the radius of gyration. Okay, we have the formula for radius of gyration, as the moment of inertia for this body is equal about x axis also and about y axis also. The radius of gyration will also be same for x and y axis. I am repeating this, as for this figure the moment of inertia of the body is same, okay, about x axis and about y axis. Radius of gyration will also be same for x axis and y axis. Therefore put this formula, put the values in this formula, we will get the answer. Now we have to calculate area. Okay, area is given pi by 4 d raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. This is area. Keep in mind this formula. For calculating the area of such shape, you just have taken this area which I am marking. Okay, this area, this is not considered in that figure. Okay, only marked region, this is the area of marked region. Okay, now therefore you have to calculate radius of gyration by putting this value. We have that moment of inertia and just divide it by area of that cross section, you will get the radius of gyration. Okay, now we will further solve some example which are depend on or of the type parallel, or we have to use the principle of parallel axis and principle of perpendicular axis to calculate the moment of inertia by using this formula. We have seen that formula. Okay, let's see. I am reading the problem. Find moment of inertia of solid circular lamina of diameter d about its tangent. Okay, we have to calculate the moment of inertia about its tangent. Tangent is what? Which touches the circle in only one point. Okay, this is the tangent for the circle. Okay, it is touching at point, and we know the moment of inertia about this axis, x axis. And now if we have to calculate the moment of inertia about this axis, as these are two parallel, okay, this diameter or this axis, x axis, and the tangent is always parallel to each other. Therefore by using principle of parallel axis, we can calculate the moment of inertia about any tangent. Okay, and for any tangent it will be same. If the tangent is over here, the moment of inertia will also be same. Over here, moment of inertia of that figure about that tangent will also be same. Let's calculate then. Now which are the things necessary for that? Let's calculate that. Now as this is symmetric figure again, we have moment of inertia about x axis, and that is equals to pi by 64 d raised to 4. This is the moment of inertia about this axis. Now we have to calculate the area. Area is also what? Pi by 4 d raised to 2. This is the area of that figure. Okay, this is area of this figure. Then height or distance, h is what? Distance between the centroidal axis and the parallel axis, which is equals to d by 2. Okay, all these value we have already. Then let's calculate their equation 1. Okay, this is the principle of parallel axis. this equation 1 is principle of parallel axis, that is moment of inertia about any axis parallel to the centroidal axis is equals to the sum of moment of inertia of central axis and the product of area and square of distance between two parallel axes. Okay, now put this value, okay, put all this value in this equation. We will get following. Okay, just this is moment of inertia, this is moment of inertia about x-axis, this is area, and this one is distance. Okay, after putting all this value we get the moment of inertia or about PQ. Okay, this is 5 by 64 into pi d raised to 4 is the moment of inertia of this spherical shape about the tangent. Okay, now today we will stop here. From tomorrow on tomorrow we will see some more example of other types. Okay, thank you.